After winning a battle of life and death, Abu Sufyan was filled with confidence. He believed the time had come. Now, he thought, we will not spare the Muslims. From all across Arabia, he began gathering a massive army, 10,000 soldiers. To understand how large this number truly was, consider this. Even if every man, woman, child, and elderly person in Medina were counted together, their total population still did not reach 10,000. Music slightly intensifies. When the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam learned of this preparation, he immediately called a meeting. Everyone present knew one thing very clearly. A direct battle was almost impossible. Something different had to be done. Among those present was Salman al-Farsi radiyallahu anhu. He stood up and offered a strategy unfamiliar to Arabia. He said, Medina is already protected on 3 sides by mountains. Only one side remains, open, the northern side. If we dig a trench there, the enemy will not be able to reach us. Short pause. The idea was accepted. The task was enormous. A trench nearly 120 feet wide was to be dug. Despite hunger, exhaustion, and extreme hardship, the Muslims began working. Many of them had stones tied to their stomachs because of hunger. Yet, in an incredibly short time, they completed a trench stretching 6 kilometers along the northern side of Medina. To understand this distance, it was as long as 36 large cricket stadiums placed in a straight line, or enough space to fit more than 6,500 cars. Music softens into awe. During the digging, a massive rock blocked their path. No matter how hard they tried, it would not break. The companions called the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He raised his tool and struck the rock. With the first strike, he said, By Allah, I see the palaces of Syria before me. With the second strike, he declared, By Allah, Persia is mine, I can see it now. With the third strike, the rock shattered completely. And he said, The keys of Yemen have been placed in my hands. The companions stood in silence. They had just witnessed a miracle. They had no food, stones were tied to their stomachs, an army of 10,000 stood before them. Yet they were being promised the fall of the greatest empires. Pause. Reflective. History later confirmed every word. Music shifts, tension returns. When the army of Mecca arrived, they were stunned. What is this? They said. We never expected this. Had they launched a surprise attack, they could have wiped out the Muslims. Their army was larger than the entire population of Medina. Instead, the 2 armies stood facing each other, watching, waiting. Whenever an enemy approached, Muslim archers drove them back. Days passed like this. Finally, a small group of attackers managed to cross the trench. Among them was the son of Abu Jahl. But Hazrat Ali radiyallahu anhu stepped forward. He defeated their leader, and the rest fled in fear. Music grows darker. Seeing the stalemate, Abu Sufyan devised a new plan. If we cannot enter Medina from outside, he thought, we will attack it from within. He turned to the Jewish tribes inside Medina and convinced them to break their treaty. Soon, Muslim homes were being raided, women and children were under threat. The Muslims were trapped, forced to choose between defending their families or facing the enemy army outside. The pressure was unbearable. Some companions even suggested a desperate measure, offering 1/3 of Medina's crops every year to stop the attack. But they said, if this is not from Allah, we will fight until our last breath. Music drops. then rises slowly. Just when hope seemed lost, a twist changed everything. A man from the enemy camp came secretly to the Prophet ﷺ. He said, "I have accepted Islam, but no one knows. Tell me how I can help." The Prophet replied, "Do whatever you can." The man went first to the Jews and warned them, "If Mecca ruses, they will abandon you. Demand hostages if they are sincere." Then he went to Abu Sufyan and said, "The Jews cannot be trusted. They may hand your men over to the Muslims." Suspicion spread. When the Jews demanded hostages, the people of Mecca refused. The alliance collapsed. Music shifts to relief. Now the Muslims faced only one enemy, and Medina was secure from within. After nearly a month, the morale of the Meccan army collapsed. Then suddenly, a violent desert storm struck. Tents were torn apart, utensils scattered, fear took over. The army fled back to Mecca. Soft, solemn music. After their departure, attention turned to those who had betrayed Medina from within. Judgment was given according to their own laws. Women and children were spared. Justice was carried out. Music rises, triumphant but calm. From that day onward, all of Arabia understood one truth: the Muslims could no longer be crushed. For the first time, they stood as a free, strong nation, and Muhammad ﷺ emerged as the undisputed leader of Arabia.